Welcome to the only podcast where you'll get cats and aliens. Now
Cats,
from season,
raccoons, and aliens and
yep,
Sasquatches. That's our
it's our
thing.
favorite thing. DB Coopers and zombie killers. I mean, let's get real.
All of it. Um,
Okay,
so
yeah, I'm
this
ready to
is
dive in.
Yeah, I know. We have so effing much to talk about this week, guys. This is season 2, episode 5. Like, we don't know the name yet. When we know, you'll know. But the last time we were on, we did have Scott Kelly with us, who does have an Amazon Prime special out right now. If you haven't seen it, it's called Word of Mouth. Go check
Go
it
check
out.
it out. That was a fun podcast. It was great to have him on here. We'll have him back again real soon because that was a lot of fun. He's going to be at the show with us in Waynesboro. I don't know if he's going to do the State College show again. He hasn't. I don't recall. But he's definitely going to be at the show in Waynesboro with us on May 23rd. So
Yeah,
we'll
and
be able to see him there with us.
we're going to talk more about that here at the end of the show. But once again, if you have not checked out Word of Mouth, check it out. If you haven't listened to episode 4, Meet a Comic. He has an Amazon Prime special, and we got to chat with him. And he's actually a pretty funny dude with lots of good stories.
Does so
Um,
many good stories. I could talk to that guy all day.
yeah,
I
unfortunately,
could talk to that guy all day.
I lost a whole hour of the stories that we had. So there's more good ones that didn't make the show because I forgot to hit record. So who knows? Maybe we'll find out more in the next one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We know he's got more material because we had an hour that we didn't even get out there. So
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. And what else did we do this weekend? Oh, I know what we did.
Oh, we went to a comedy show once again. Just, I mean, I cannot say it enough. Ridge Hirschberger is the
Yes.
man. I mean, this show was murderous.
Well, first
Murderous.
First of all, let's talk about the venue for a second. Now, Ridge is famous for booking out of the way places, which I love because we're bringing comedy to parts of Pennsylvania that may not get to laugh. They get their laughs off of YouTube. No, bring them live comedy. Petersburg Fire Company. I want to give them so much credit because I'll let you talk about the food, but I, as a woman who has OCD, I give them so much credit for how highly organized and seamless that whole event was. We were there from 6 to like 10, I think, and everything was just smooth sailing. I loved it. The people were so nice. And the food,
Oh, the food was tremendous, but I just want to give a shot. Like, you can't run a better show for it to involve dinner. That's not something you typically do at a comedy show. But the food then was just out of this world. Like she said, it just shuffled through the line quick and easy. It was like out of being at a wedding. It was well run. I mean, these fire people don't mess around, buddy. They are efficient. But the meatball, it was a pasta bar. All the fixins, those meatballs were like the best I ever had. They're amazing. Those meatballs were top notch. But they also had chicken. You could get red sauce, white sauce, salad, a little dinner, a little dessert thing, garlic bread. I mean, they had the works. Regular drinks for free. I mean, you could go to the bar and get, beer or whatever if you wanted. But I mean, I just can't say enough. But the
the comedy.
comics, I mean, it was great. And a great crowd, wouldn't you
Yeah,
say?
like
Like, I mean,
so here's the thing about doing out of the way spots is for a fact you're going to get mostly conservatives. You know for a fact you're going to get over middle aged people. These people did not miss a beat. They weren't uptight. They did not cringe at some of the dirtier jokes. I loved it. I love when people enjoy the comics because I love for the comics to get that experience, right? But for the
no,
whole room
I
to be
mean, obviously.
the energy was just fire. Once again, we
As
need to get
Trevor would say, it was electric. It was
electric.
electric.
We need to get Ridge on here. We keep saying it, but Ridge is a go-getter, man. He is one of the hardest working comics and promoters in central Pennsylvania that I know of. He might be the only one, but well,
I
we've got
mean,
some stuff, but
he's one of the hardest working in all of Pennsylvania, I would say. I mean, that guy is just he don't stop.
Yes, and we're going to talk more about the anniversary show that he has coming up here. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. So, one of the other things that we did this weekend, I like to call it grounding. We do so much running. Scott's brother was in town, which is really cool because they got to spend time together, which gave me a couple free hours to just unwind peacefully, serenely, scroll socials with no TV on, nobody talking. But
I
we
coughed
also,
by accident.
it's okay. I'll mute you. We also did one other thing that Scott and I love to do when we're just decompressing, which is what?
Honky tonkin' in the hood. Or the vice versa, which is
Hood.
country, or
Yeah, we don't want.
no, hood in the country.
Yeah, hood in the country. But
So,
so honky tonkin' in the hood was something that we just joke around about because we love both rap and country music. There's like, we love all music, but rap and country music are two of our favorite genres. And so
for road
when we're
trips.
for road trips, right?
Yeah, for like riding around. Yeah.
So we like get this wild thing in our brain that one of these days we're going to ride through the hood and blast country and just film reactions. So we call it honky tonkin' in the hood. And then we want to go in the into the country parts of town and blast rap and see their reactions. And I think depending on the rap song, you can get some. I've been to great country venues where they were dancing to rap music. So
It's
I'm just
also
saying.
harder to, yeah, it's also harder to do the country in the hood. I mean, the rap in the hood in the country because there's less people in the country, so there's less reaction. You can ride around, ain't nobody around. So it's like you're on some mountain dirt road. The deer don't care. They like it all.
So, so if you ever see these two freaks riding, these two middle-aged people riding through the hood, blasting country music, it's all in good fun. We want to get your reactions. Don't flip us off. Let us know if you like the music or not. That's all.
And good stuff. Conway Twitty, goodbye time, baby.
Which
Ho, 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 ho.
we went our entire music careers without really, if we've heard that song, neither of us have really like just jumped on it. We heard it what, three times in the past 2 weeks. It was on American Idol, maybe once or
Mm,
twice. Then we heard it on the
twice.
radio. I don't know. So cool.
Yeah. Check it out, Conway Twitty. Goodbye time. Ladies and hold on. I gotta do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty. That's a perfect one. I'm telling my kids this was Conway Twitty and it's uh is it Jesse? Jesse Gemstone?
Jesse Gemstone.
Jesse Gemstone, okay. I
Yeah.
can never keep the gemstones straight.
I love them. I love me some Gemstones. I got Judy straight though and Uncle Baby Billy. Speaking of which, I can't even scroll through TikTok right now with Mama told me not to, I did anyway.
Name is
Misbehaving.
behaving.
It's
Speaking of Jennifer Nettles though,
what? I didn't even have that on the list, but you better bring it up. Just bring it
well, I'm
up.
just saying, since we're talking about the gemstones, of course, Mama Gemstone, even though she's dead, she's still in the show, is played by Jennifer Nettles. But Jennifer Nettles is now starring in a new show on Prime with Kevin Bacon called The Bondsman, and it's
Yes.
good. It's good, and she does a lot of sing. Her and Kevin Bacon do a lot of singing, and there's some good songs.
Yeah, it's like Nashville meets Sons of Anarchy meets Buffy. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's it's insanely good. Um
meets Walking Dead.
yeah, it's just all it's like somebody studied all the greatest shows that did a six season like really hard hitting like and took elements from all of it to make. I didn't think they were going to make like after like The Walking Dead and shit like that. I didn't think anything new in that genre was going to come out that.
Well, that's exactly right. You brought up a great point there. That genre, you can tell they're a fan of that genre. Whoever did this, I don't even know, but
Yeah.
like you can tell that because it has all those elements that you love in
Yeah.
those kind of shows.
Yeah, but it doesn't
You know,
have
lots
teenage
of
romance in it. So that's good because like we're adults now. I need to shift focus to grown love stories. This is a
right.
great one, right? A
It's not
divorced
Vampire
country couple.
Diaries.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
No, it's
like
fantastic. Like
yeah, it's good.
We binge watched it this past weekend and I'm hook, line, and sinker. Like I'm all in. I cannot wait for the next season. Somehow we managed to get so much in this week as far as like kind of pop culture and watching things. So we're going to talk about a couple of them. It's like all over the gambit. My brain is gone in a million directions. So first and foremost, this video was trending on social media. I'm going to log in as producer and show you the video because I want to see what you think
Oh, you're
about it.
talking about the slap.
Yeah, I'm not
The
going to,
loudest. Okay.
yeah, you can call it whatever you want. I'm not going to set it up too much because I just want you to kind of see it. And
Yeah, I was
then we'll
going to
talk
call it the
about,
loudest slap since Will Smith.
yeah,
The hottest slap since Will Smith.
that's exactly what it
Everybody's
is.
talking about it.
And I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child. Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused. That's the point. What I'm saying is right.
Whoa. That's great. Damn, she two-pieced her. But that's crazy, though. Especially with as many people as do those streets interviews. I'm surprised this doesn't happen more, to be honest.
I know that's the crazy part is like, are you effing kidding me right now? Like, so Savannah Craven, the girl that got smacked, she
Mm.
is a pro life conservative creator. She goes around the streets of New York and talks to people about pro life. The conversation leading into her getting smacked was she was talking about foster care, and I couldn't find the video. I don't know if it's taken down, but leading up to this, she was talking to the girl that hit her about foster care, and the girl's like, all fucking kids in foster care can be killed. Who cares? Like that. Like she was just like blatantly like, who cares? And then, so the girl's name that hit her. So Savannah Craven, like I said, conservative creator. She does pro life. People call it rage baiting. I thought that she was being pretty civil. Like, is the
I mean, those
context
streets people
potentially
usually.
good?
No, I was going to say, those street people usually aren't that. And I didn't get the vibe that she was being, like, over the top. I mean, not to warrant a hit. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if you can't hold your emotions long enough not to be a fucking punk ass bitch. So now I got people in my inbox telling me that they're gonna come bring it to the streets because I was bring it, bring it, bring it. Y'all don't know I'm a fighter from way back. Like, I grew up fighting. It's one of my favorite things to do. If I didn't lose my job, I would walk up and punch people on a daily basis
Whoa.
for no reason. I
Breathe
love
easy. Simmer down
fighting.
there.
I've been trying to get Dana White to set up a TikTok ring for UFC that you just don't have to be trained. You can just take a 1 week little lead
Like a
up to
tough
get,
man contest.
yeah, and just, bitch, I will box you. I will box you. Brianna J. Rivers from the Bronx, New York. So somebody actually put her address on Facebook and tagged the New York police station. They gave her
Oh my
real
God.
address. I'm like, that's part of fucking around and finding out. That's what happens. You fuck around, you find out. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Because now this bitch is all over social media saying the video was taken out of context. I was rage baited. No, bitch, you couldn't hold your temper
She
and you
should have just
smacked me.
walked away. Yeah. Yeah. Why would you even do it?
There are times where I should have walked away. And I admittedly say I should have walked away. I'm not going to come like, oh, woe is me, poor me.
But that one doesn't bother me a whole lot because I don't care about people getting punched in terms of, like, I mean, that lady should have hit her back.
Well, the bigger controversy is the girl that got hit. Her husband was a cameraman. Like, if you were the cameraman and I got sucker punched like that, you would have grabbed all my shit so I could run after her and beat her ass.
You just
You wouldn't
seen
have
the
fucking
classic
just.
video where it's like, it'd be like cops. You don't even see anything. You just hear.
Let's talk about the
Because
last
we'd
time
have.
I was at a fist fight at Shawnee State Park. How many people were in that fight? I was in dead center getting all of my hair ripped out, and I had four
That
grown
was
ass men pulling that bitch off me.
one of the greatest fight moments, one of the greatest public fights you've ever seen. I'd love for somebody to put that video up somewhere because that thing was a brawler. Dude, there was so many people involved. Lex rolled up. He's like, all right. he didn't even put the car in park. The car's still rolling. He's like, "Who wants some?" It had all been like sorted out, other than that trying to get that girl who had like a death grip. You know what I mean? Like in your hair.
It all grew back, bitch. It's all there. All the baby
No,
hair is
no, I
gone.
know. I'm just. But yeah, it took. Everybody was down. That's the last time I sprinted. Remember, I was running full speed. I'll say that's probably the first time since I was a kid that I ran full speed, and it's been the last time.
To be fair, I did not start that fight. It was a long brewing incident that was going on all day. I'm not a
Yeah.
brawler, but I don't pick fights. I don't walk around and pick fights. But when there's a fist flying, I am quick to throw one. I can't help it. I should have been a UFC fighter. I'm too old now. I'm too old. If they do a geriatric ring. So story one is I'm not gonna drain the sandbox on this one. I just want to call it out. We're going to be talking about this more. This is one of those things, again, hot off the presses. I don't even she's only been posting for a couple months about this on Facebook, and now she has a partner in crime who's doing TikTok posts for her. So Dr. Galena Trefil, it's Trefil. Not Dr. Galena, I'm sorry. Her father is Dr. John Trefil. Her name is Rabbi Galena Trefil. And she does have a Facebook page. It is public, so you can go on and kind of follow the story. And her partner crime
Don't
is
don't do it. Don't get sucked in. Don't get sucked in. It's a
her
portal.
her partner in crime is Kelly Arnold. And if you go to Kelly, it's Kelli. I'm gonna tag all these people. If you go to Kelly's TikTok, you can get a quick summary version by scrolling from the bottom up through her videos. But what are we even talking about, babe? Why are we even bringing this up?
Because she claims that her dad is the Zodiac Killer. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking because this is not a new phenomenon. We talked about this already. Like, there's documentaries about other people who think their dad was the Zodiac Killer.
A
There's
lot.
other people. And we know, babe, we've seen it in how many different documentaries. And one in particular, DB Cooper. People famously confess to being DB Cooper on their deathbed. Like they can't. There's one DB Cooper. There's like 19 confessions. They can't all be DB Cooper, if any of them.
Right. And it's these two tales are actually going to intertwine, which is why I brought this up
Mhm.
first. Is
Yeah.
there are so many deathbed confessions about who the Zodiac Killer is. There's people who have physical evidence that aligns with a person. If you start going down the Dr. John Trefil rabbit hole, this girl also has evidence. I'm going to post a comment on here that so I was questioning some of her things because she had said, why won't you take my DNA? Why won't you test this? And then it's happening in California. So the Mendocino County Sheriff's Office was like, we already tested DNA. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but I asked her about that on Facebook and she responded. So we're going to give them a shout out. She's trying to set up a GoFundMe to get some of the evidence tested.
She responded with what seemed like a reasonable answer. You know what I mean? Like she didn't just dismiss it out of hand, or like she had an explanation. Now, again, we're not saying anything one way or the other, but it at least seems reasonable and plausible that this could be. I mean, obviously you got to go decide for yourself, but it's definitely there's not nothing there. It's not just some wackaloon that's like, "Oh, my uncle disappeared in
No, if
1978 and
nothing
didn't come
else,
back for 4 years."
no, you're right. If nothing else, these ladies have a well, I don't want to say fantastic story because it's literally about murder, right? So it's, they have
Really
a
fantastic.
fantastic compilation of writings of Dr. Truffle. They have, well, I don't even know if he's a doctor anymore because I think he actually got lost his medical license due to a high rate of suicides that he was connected with. He was involved in experimental drug use on prisoners. Which is weird because you're going to find this thread throughout something else that we're going to talk about here a little bit later. So my thought on this, and I think that this may be a theory that's prevailed throughout history, is that maybe he wasn't working alone, that there is a network of
Mm.
sociopathic serial killers that kind of share their whatever.
Well, this brings me to an interesting point because you bring that up there. And one of the things about it is so, like, we know that serial killers falsely all the time, you know this as well as I do, falsely claim victims that they couldn't have killed. You know what I mean?
Right.
When they finally get caught, they're like, oh, I murdered 100 women. But in reality, we know that these other ones were, you know what I mean? Like, we have proof that they didn't do these. And that's
Yeah.
happened quite a few times. So, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm trying. I won't be able to think of his name right now, but who was the guy that said that he killed Nicole Brown Simpson? Now,
Oh,
Gary,
yeah.
somebody,
I can't think. Glenn Rogers?
Glenn Rogers. Yes. I firmly believed that there was enough of what he was saying to be true that he could actually be the Nicole Brown Simpson killer. Now, did he do other crimes? Yes. Yes.
My point with all this, though, is that so Zodiac, a lot of his crimes we know about because he confesses to them to the police. So how do we really know that that confession is? He might be claiming a victim that doesn't. So that way you could start to get two perpetrate. You know what I mean? Like two people lined up for that, even if it's not. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
because somebody's lying.
Absolutely. Or the person who wrote the ciphers isn't even associated with the Zodiac Killer at all.
Right. Or maybe he had somebody write the ciphers for, or you know what I mean? Like you said, maybe there's a network,
So
which they
miraculous.
suggested with the Son of Sam killer. I don't know if you remember that documentary
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
where
So,
they
I mean,
said that
like I
was
said,
actually,
go ahead.
no, I was just going to say where they said that was actually multiple people and not just David. He was like the fall guy of the group or whatever.
Yeah, and so like I said, we're not going to drain it all today. We're not going down the rabbit hole today, but I mean, stay tuned because we're going to bring you updates as we have them. They've already, I think, partnered up with somebody else to do go on a podcast. If we Galena has a YouTube channel where she puts out some of the discussions she's had with her father, who is still alive but allegedly has dementia. So we'll be talking more about it. I'm super interested because either way, these ladies have a lot to say, and my instinct gut feeling is that whether or not he's the Zodiac killer, they're not lying about what he's telling them.
Also, just because he's not the Zodiac killer also doesn't mean that he's not a killer. We've seen people that were actually killers confess to the Zodiac that weren't. So,
Right.
like, there's so many different ways it could fall. Like,
Yeah. So we will keep you up to date on the Zodiac Killer. As we know, you will know, or you can go out and do the research yourself, which is why we're giving them a shout out. We'll post to their
yeah.
Facebook page when we release the weekly clips.
We love great mysteries. So as we find out new things for you to put together, because who knows, maybe it's somebody that listens. It's like, hey, I have an idea. I wonder if whatever. And then, that's how things get unraveled.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too is that Galena's posted a lot recently that people who actually knew her father have been messaging her and saying that I escaped this scenario with him. So he is prolific. Whether or not he's a Zodiac, there's definitely something wrong with John Truffle.
Sure, sure. No, that's cool. That's very cool.
But it weaves because the theme here is that we love mysteries, we love puzzles, we love
Unsolved
treasures.
crimes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
treasures.
Yeah. And any mystery. It's mysteries. We love mysteries.
So, what was the name of that Netflix documentary that we watched this past week that is going?
Finding Forrest Fenn's treasure, I believe.
Yes, Forrest Fenn.
Mm, so good. I mean, you talk about a documentary that had me so. And now I'm talking about it. I'm fired up again. I gotta go watch it. Stop the podcast. Um, It's the story. I mean, we all know the Forrest Fenn. You know what I mean? Forrest Fenn was this old guy that buried a treasure somewhere, like in the Rocky
We
Mountains.
don't all know though,
And
do we? Do we all know this?
well, I think no, it was very pop. My point being is, it was very big in the news. It wasn't just something that was, you know what I mean. This made national headlines multiple
Right.
times. Um, but Fenn, he was an old guy that buried a treasure, and that then people died trying to find it. It was out in the wilderness. There was a series of clues, typically just what you think of with a treasure hunt. Um, and somebody did eventually find it. However, one of the people that was involved with the documentary, who probably one of the only other people that figured out the clues to where it was, he bought some of the treasure back, added more treasure of his own. He reburied it somewhere in the western United States. Clues are hidden in the documentary of the Netflix special. There's a book to go with, there's a poem to go with, there's a website, there's a Reddit community. I mean, like all the works. If you've been involved in treasure hunting before, and we have, we're not just lay people, right?
No, we're not. We've talked about this before. We did a treasure hunt, and we're going to talk about this
Mm-hmm.
because this is the way. This is why I believe in the Matrix. This is why I believe in glitches. This is why I believe in what's the other thing called, where we're all in some program that we're not,
A simulation.
because yeah, with simulation, because all these theories intertwine, or are they the great epic sagas of life that are just
Well,
showing
what's
their
interesting,
themes?
right? Well, what's interesting too is, are they connected? Because you know as well as I do that when you start putting clues together, start lining up coincidences and stuff, it is easy to talk yourself into something and connecting things that aren't connected. We suffered from
Yeah,
that because we discovered that during the treasure hunt, trying to put clues together. You can make things fit where they don't.
yeah, we did that with the Maryland
Mm,
hunt. We were in Boonesboro, right? At the
mm-hmm.
what the Civil War history place
Oh, we
in
were in
Boonesboro,
Sharpsburg. Sorry, we were in
or
Sharpsburg
Sharpsburg.
at the battlefield,
Sharpsburg.
Antietam battlefield. Yeah.
Antietam Battlefield, and we were able to make every clue fit. We were
Perfect.
able to perfectly. We knew that it was out at Antietam Battlefield, and it was at a baseball field somewhere else. All the clues
Down in
fit
Bowie, Maryland.
Antietam. All the clues fit the buoy. They were perfectly matched. The person that I don't even know how to get into this conversation, how to bring it full circle. But so while we were watching the documentary, right? So you guys have probably heard of DB Cooper if you follow treasure hunting at all. I mean, DB Cooper happened in what, 1971, 72. A
19, yeah,
famous
1970, 1971.
Yeah, it was like a famous plane hijacking where the gentleman only took
Mm.
$200,000 and jumped off the plane, and nobody ever found him. A little bit of the money was found, but that's it. Like, it's one of the greatest American mysteries there ever was.
As they say, it's the only unsolved skyjacking in American history. And it, like you said, it's one of those great American mysteries. Who's the Zodiac Killer? Who was DB Cooper? You know what I mean? Like these are the big. What happened to Chandra Levy? Who killed John Benet Ramsey? These are like the. You know what I mean?
And where the
Greatest
fuck is
American
Jimmy Hoffa?
mysteries.
And where the
And
fuck
where
is
the
Jimmy
fuck is
Hoffa's
Jimmy
body?
Hoffa?
So with DB Cooper, right? This happened in the 70s. And so if you follow DB Cooper at all, there's a whole thread of people that obviously believe that this guy was a trained airline pilot, right? Because of the way that he jumped and just the circumstances, what he knew, how he knew to ask for several shoots, like all of it. I'm not going to drain DB Cooper. You can go watch 1,000,001 documentaries, and there are like 17 people that said their father is DB Cooper, right?
All the expert people agree that he was a skilled flightsman, whether that means pilot, jumper, but everybody knows that he knew aviation. Do you know what I mean? Like that, all the evidence points towards that.
Right. And so I am I'm a puzzle solver. So we're watching the documentary and I'm like, how did Forrest Fenn get his money? Why did he have $1 million just to put in a treasure hunt? Like, where did he get his money?
Well, because he became an
Well,
art dealer, we do know that. And how did he get the seed money to start being a? He was an art dealer to the stars. How did he get that money? You're talking big, rich paintings. You know what I mean? Like, so he had.
right.
And why you brought up aviation was because he was a pilot in Vietnam, and not just any
So,
pilot.
right. So Forrest Fenn flew 350 missions in Vietnam in 365 days. He was a skilled airman, skilled. I'm assuming he
Very
was a
skilled.
jumper. I'm
I
assuming
mean,
he was a
even if he
jumper.
wasn't, even if he didn't do it all the time, I'm sure he had to do that as part of his. He had jumped before, put it that way, and it's not like he was a paratrooper where he was doing it all the time. But I mean, he was experienced.
So when I was watching the documentary, all these things started to pop in my head. And then like they flashed up a picture of Forrest Fenn back in the day when he was a pilot in Vietnam. And I was like, he fucking looks like the picture of DB Cooper, the famous drawing of DB Cooper. The hairline matches, the jawline matches, right? That's what kind of blew me away. And when you look at other people who are allegedly DB Cooper, because I went back and looked, they don't have the same nose structure. This guy fits the facial profile, okay? Then they talk about he was very gentlemanly. Forrest Fenn is an old country gentleman. He is very
Yep.
proper. He I mean, so then Babe was like, well, somebody had to have pieced this together before. Like somebody had to have thought that DB
At
Cooper.
least had the thought.
So you looked it up.
And so we were talking about the treasure. It was a person by the name of Stephanie 30acre who wrote this book. Now, this means nothing to probably anyone. However, the treasure hunt that we were just talking about, where we found the treasure, was put on by a guy named David Klein, who invented Jelly Bellies. But his partner in the clue thing was one Stephanie 30acre. Can
Ah,
you
there
hear me
you are.
now?
Anthony. Yes.
Okay. I don't know what's going on today. The internet, probably.
It's because we're talking about all this wild shit that they
Yeah,
don't want
that's
to put out
exactly
into
what
the
it is.
ethos.
Yeah. Breezeline's like, oh, hell no. Shut this shit down.
But you were saying when you hopped on the last time, I could see your face moving, and I knew what you were saying. Say it. Do it.
I'm DB Cooper.
That's what his Graham used to say. It's scary.
Well, no, I saw an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Somebody told their wife on their deathbed that was what they said. I'm DB Cooper.
So that's another rabbit hole that we're going to be going down that you guys are going to be hearing a lot more of because I'm buying Stephanie's book. I want to see why she thinks that Forrest Fenn is DB Cooper because I thought about it. It just clicked for me. When something clicks in my brain so hard like that, I'm usually onto something. And people dismiss Stephanie 30acre as crazy, which really frustrates me because
Do
she
they?
writes. Yeah, the Reddit thread said the only person that believes that Forrest Fenn is DB Cooper is some crazy that wrote a book. And I got a little pissed
Wrong.
off because
Wrong. There's three
Stephanie
right
is
now.
Stephanie's smart. She's really smart. There's no
Yeah.
way she wrote the clues at the complexity and yet like she's smart. If she saw a connection, I saw a
Yeah.
connection, there's something there. We're going down this rabbit hole. We'll
We
bring
just
more.
made enough of a connection, as far as I'm concerned, to at least investigate it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's fact, but like it's
No,
worth
I
a
mean,
look.
listen, my husband has been referred to as Patton Oswald. Patton's wife goes down, well, she went down rabbit holes so deep that it might have ended her. That's the
It
kind of
did.
rabbit holes I want to go down, minus the drugs.
Yeah.
Um,
We've gone down some of these rabbit holes. We just need to
yeah.
take the steps now with old DB and Forrest Fenn. And just one more thing on that. It's like To me, it makes as much sense as anybody. And why not? Like, who? I mean, like, why couldn't it have
Well,
been?
if you watch the documentary on Netflix about his treasure, you will find that his family has been through hell and back because he
Yeah.
wrote this book and
And
because
they
he
just
did
want to
this treasure.
be wash their
They went
hands of the all of it. They don't. They'd be happy if they never heard those words again because it's been
right,
hell.
right.
The
And so
stalkers and everything else.
so if somebody starts promoting this whole concept, this narrative that
Mm-hmm.
Forrest might be DB Cooper, they're going to be stuck again having to deal with it. Now
Mm-hmm.
with the guy that is doing the new treasure hunt, they're out of the loop. It's nothing to do with them.
Right.
Matter of fact, he even had to say, because of what that family went through, the treasure is not within a mile of my property or something, because
Right.
people were going to Forrest Fenn's house and like showing up at his gate in the middle of the night. It's insane.
Eat up
Like,
people. If they did it, if they could do it, they did it.
fucking people.
Fucking people.
But so I am going to we've got one more big story to cover, and then we're going to wrap it up with a couple things that we've got coming up. But so it all, again, the thread is a cohesive wind this week, or weave, because the next thing that's trending right now, which is insane because this happened in 2022, the first part of it,
Mhm.
Harley Pasternak. Now, if you guys have never heard of Harley Pasternak, he is a celebrity trainer, which I don't give a shit about celebrity trainers. To me, they're all just clout stealers that are hanging on to the coattails of celebrities to say that they were in their circle, right? They're little networking weasels as far as I'm concerned. I've never met a celebrity. I've never met a
They're a
trainer.
little
I've
bit,
never, yeah.
yeah.
They're I feel like they all are in this Church of Scientology or something. Like,
That's a great example. Like, I know they're not, but that's a great example because they're like very cultish, very I don't even know what the word is, like you said, but it's a very specific character type.
it is. And so, I love Candace Owens. I love her. I think she's brilliant. You not so much. I used
I
to
do
hate
not.
her when I
But
was
yeah, that's
liberal.
fine.
When I was liberal, I used to go on her page and call her token all the time because I thought she was the only black conservative that lived in America. I didn't know. I was stupid. I admit I had Trump derangement syndrome. But now I love me some Candace. Not everything she says is, some of it's hyperbolic, and I get that, but a lot of, she does some really good research. She has the money, she has investigators, she has lawyers, she can do this shit, right? So she's always up against a lawsuit. Well, she got served this week by a process server. Somebody wants 5 years of her texts between her and Kanye. Why does this even matter? What does Candace Owens and Kanye have to do with Harley Pasternak? Well, if you don't
Tell
know,
us.
Harley Pasternak was Kanye's trainer when he went into the loony bin the first time.
Mm. But that's not
And
even the half. I could deal with that's not even the half. What gets you is what she's about to tell you about these text messages. Now, I'm
so,
no Kanye. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say
no,
this
go
real quick.
ahead. Go ahead. Say what you're going to
I'm
say because
no
I got to go.
Kanye fan, and I'm not sitting here saying like I think that, but I also think that people can be portrayed by like in the media in any way that the media wants to portray them. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen.
Well, so it's a long text. I'm going to actually put the whole text up for everyone to read if they haven't seen it. I'm reading the part that pisses me off to no end. This was actually a text exchange between Harley and Kanye. Harley has never disputed that he sent this message. It was put on Twitter in 2022 by Kanye, and nobody covered it. Nobody. It slipped under the radar. Why the mainstream media wasn't covering this tells me that there's merit to it, right?
Let's hear it.
From Harley Pasternak to Kanye, option two, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you. You go back to Zombieland forever. Play dates with kids just won't be the same.
What was option one?
Option one is that he stops tweeting crazy
Oh,
texts.
oh, right, right, right.
So he was threatened essentially by Harley Pasternak that he was going to be put back into Zombieland, which insinuates that he was put into Zombieland
In
before by somebody. So again, none of this matters out of context. Okay, Twitter beef. I don't know what you're doing right there,
I'm
but
secretly doing the Illuminati symbol.
however, when you dig up the background of Harley Pasternak, you find that he was a scientist for a military psyop program in Canada. He was a trained scientist in Canada who conducted psyop experiments involving experimental drugs with people to see if he could make them become mentally ill.
Very similar to what sort of programs the CIA runs over here in America versus, we find out about him after the fact. They finally admit to him 50 years after it's over,
Right.
but he was involved in a Canadian version of that.
Right. So when Kanye was going off the rails tweeting about MK Ultra and doing all that shit about MK Ultra, he was not far from the truth. Was he being drugged? Is there a conspiracy? So if you want to take this a step further, let's talk about who else Harley Pasternak was involved in right before they died. Aaron
Brittany
Carter,
Murphy,
Brittany Murphy, and the one that blew me away, Mac Miller.
Mac Miller. Now, mind you, these people all died of overdoses, which is a convenient way. Like, basically, if you've ever done drugs in your life, they can off you with an overdose,
No,
and
but
people are going to buy it.
no. Brittany Murphy died of complications from pneumonia,
Mm.
and Aaron Carter died. He had a generic form of Xanax in his system, but he died because he was strangled in his own bathtub. Now, strangled, drowned. There's some controversy there. But right before Aaron Carter died, he was telling people that he believed that somebody was trying to kill him. And when Kanye tweeted that tweet about Harley Pasternak, Nick Carter said, "Hey, Kanye, let's talk man to man. I got some things to tell you." And then he died.
Whoa, really? You didn't tell me that. That's a
I
big
know.
piece. That's huge. I would love
So
to
you're
be a
gonna
fly on the wall in that conversation.
so you're gonna start a website now.
Who, me?
Yeah, didn't you? Oh, you were drunk yesterday when you said it. You may not remember.
I was going to start a website about what?
I believe Kanye.com.
Oh, something. Kanye isn't crazy.
Kanye isn't crazy.com. You're starting a
That
website.
might already be a thing. But no, I'm with it. I'm with it because here's the thing: is you start to look into, like you said, psyop. You talk about rabbit holes, dude. Like, don't. It's mind bending, and I don't half the time. I don't want to talk about any of these things because it does sound crazy. But when you're in the rabbit hole, man, it doesn't.
And you can make it all fit. I can see how conspiracy theorists get hooked because you can make the little tiniest thing fit your narrative if you are on a narrative, right? But for me, everything's full circle with me, right? So Dakota, my daughter, her middle name is Antonia. Her middle name is Antonia because when I was pregnant with her, I read Dr. Zhivago, which is by Boris Pasternak, who was allegedly actually involved in MI6 and MK Ultra
Mm.
experiments and this, that, and the other. So it all comes full circle eventually.
No, well, it's all connected, man. It's all part of a massive, which I honestly, and don't even give me, I'm not even going to go started because if I get into it, I think it's all part of one grand conspiracy, basically put forth over the last 80 to 100 years for the elite to seize control. We've been visited by aliens. They're leaving. What I I'm not going any further than that. You can do with it what you will.
Well, we
But
went down
I
another rabbit hole this
what's
week, and
that?
I didn't even have it on the agenda, but we watched that one, the one Mandela Effect
That
YouTube thing
scared
that's,
me. There's some
yeah.
Mandelas I didn't. I mean, we've talked about this before, the Mandela effect, on this podcast. We've talked about ones that affected us, which are the pretty basic ones. The bear, it's we had the beginners package of the Mandela effect. Berenstain Bears, uh, Nelson Mandela, of course. And there's a couple other
Apollo.
ones that everybody has. What's that?
Yeah. I think the Apollo one or the Challenger blowing up
Oh
is
yeah,
one.
the Challenger explosion. There's several that are more not mainstream, but they're the ones that everybody's
Well,
heard of.
now they've come out
But
with this whole new fucking expansion pack. You can
right,
now buy an expansion pack of Mandela effects.
and I bought it. Cup of noodle? Are you kidding me? It was cup of noodle, not cup noodle. What sense would it make to call something cup noodle? It was cup o noodle, cup o noodle, cup o noodle.
Stouffer
What was the
stovetop
other one?
stuffing. Stouffer stovetop stuffing. Stouffer
Stouffer
stovetop.
stovetop stuffing. That one I believe is real because I've heard it.
Yeah, I know.
What was the
But
other one we
so
just saw though? Besides the one besides the
there
cup
was
of
a
noodle, there
couple
was.
mind blowing ones on there. Like this documentary pulled out a couple that I'd never been in
And what's
on.
interesting that, and we were even critiquing. So here's what's interesting is we also understand with the Mandela effect how your mind can conflate things and mix things up. And but also if you believe in some of them, the guy's like, hey, I'm not saying that I remember it that way. But these people are all
Right.
saying that, so maybe they're just in a different timeline type thing that we. But they relate it back to the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland or whatever, and that because basically they're trying to get the building blocks of the universe, and they shoot all these super high crazy protons and stuff. Basically, they're creating little mini Big Bangs. So if they're doing all this stuff, who's to say they haven't altered? And that's what they're saying is it doesn't
It's
alter
true.
the total reality, but it just changes a few things so that you can notice that you're in a different timeline.
Yeah. And with the advent of the internet, it's so easy. Like before, they could just gloss over it and we'd never know
Yeah,
the
you're just like, oh, I
difference. But
remembered wrong.
now, yeah.
But now you can meet
So,
1,500 million people that remember it the way that you do.
yeah, I know. It's like it's insane. Or is it one of those like false memory things? I don't know.
Like the one that always throws me for a loop is Fruit Loops. People always say they don't remember it's spelled with two O's, but the story, I know the story of why they called it Fruit Loops and used two O. Like, so it's like, and it's always been that way to me. So like that one doesn't ring true. But again, I'm not knocking anybody that says it was different in their timeline because maybe they don't remember the Berenstain Bear thing. You know what I mean?
I
Or
don't
whatever.
remember double O's and Fruit Loops. I do not remember that.
Yeah, I do. I do.
I don't. So I do want to wrap this up because we've covered a lot and we have so much
We
shit
could
going
talk
on.
about this all day. I say we keep going.
No, I could, but I think we're gonna have a lot more updates for these things as they come available.
Right,
And we're
sure.
gonna be
I'm
digging
with
into
it.
them more. So, but yeah, I would,
I'm with
you
it.
know me, I could talk about rabbit holes all day, every day. I love to go
Well, it's
down rabbit
fun to
holes.
talk about.
Call me Alice, why don't you?
And I feel like
Um,
people will respond to this. Even if all our listeners are crazy, I don't give a shit. Come on in and have some fun.
come one, come all. What did they
Yep.
say? In Alice in Wonderland, we're all mad here,
Yep.
or we're all a little mad here, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So
You get the idea.
I signed us up for something fun on Saturday.
I'm so excited about this. This might be the thing that I'm like most excited about. I feel like I know it's not because it's just but like I feel like one of those like celebrity guest judges where they're like, you know what I mean? Where they're like, we got a little bee and Sky Brother Get a Trash podcast. People are gonna be like, what?
Yes. So it is actually it's actually going to be our first event that we're ever booking as Alana B and Scott from Gilded Trash. And it is a local Wimber, Pennsylvania karaoke contest
Mm,
hosted by my homegirl for a long time, DJ Heidi.
yep,
She's actually
DJ
DJ'd
Hattie.
some of our family events in the past. She's a fun karaoke DJ. She's got lots of cool lights. She goes live sometimes. Great song selection. So, what Heidi is telling me is that there is going to be a twist to this karaoke contest.
Mm-mm.
So it is at the Wimber VFW Saturday, April 12th. The contest starts at 9 p.m. If you're entering the contest, you have to have your first song in by 8:45. And I don't know about the second song because that's where the twist comes in.
You just made my day. You said my three favorite things. VFW. That means beer, rip tickets, karaoke, food,
Yes,
cheap
all of the
food. Yeah,
above.
I love a good VFW, bub.
Yep. And we'll be handing out some Gilded Trash merch and Trash Panda merch to the contestants as we go. Maybe if we don't agree on who wins, maybe we'll give some runner-up prizes. So that's going to be really fun. I'm super excited. I will not be entering the competition, so don't worry. You don't have to
You're
deal
probably
with
not
my
allowed,
songs.
are you? It's
No, I
illegal.
wouldn't want to. I
It'd
don't
be
want to.
illegal. Illegal. The cops would show up.
Yeah.
You're judging a karaoke contest that you're in. They
Yeah,
show up
no.
at the VFW like they think they're there to like bust the bar down or something, and they're like, "We got word that somebody's participating in a karaoke contest that they're also judging. That's a misdemeanor around here."
Although my family is notorious in that neck of the woods for getting in
They might
trouble.
just use that to
So
come get you for another reason.
who knows? I can't, I'd have to shout out my real last name, which I'm not, or my maiden name, which I'm not going to do because there's only like seven of us in the whole country. But I tend to throw that cloud around when I'm out Wimber Way, and it doesn't go to very far because my
Well,
dad and his
let's just say
brothers were
this:
all
that
wild.
her family once had a newspaper article, and it started. Winber was a Wild West show last night, right? That's how the
Yeah.
article starts. When there was a Wild West shootout in Winber, and that was her family. But
Yeah, my uncle's just shooting guns up in the air, pew
I
pew and
I
whatever.
picture it though, like back. So this is like what, the 1970s. I picture like the doors of the Winber Hotel having like just a, you know what I'm talking about, the
Like
like the
it's the
old
real
time,
Wild
and they
West.
just and like he stumbled and the streets were dirt in Winber, and he's like, I know that's not true, but that's how it makes it sound.
That's how the article makes it sound. It's really fun how
Picture
they
your
did that.
dad like in that picture where he looks like an almond brother.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I
that's a
mean?
great
And
picture.
like
Yeah.
I can picture the whole scene, this Wild West shootout in Winber.
I'm actually probably gonna pull up that picture and the article if me and Ash get a chance to connect when she comes on Trash Panda because that we similar family backgrounds there. So also
Shootouts.
coming up before we release the next episode, you are doing a showcase at Mannyson State College, hosted by John Saxton, right?
John Saxton, yep.
John Saxton. So there's a showcase at Manny's in State College and then an open mic to follow, which if you guys want to try your hand at stand up in State College, 4/16 is the date.
Yep. Then 419, Comedy Farm anniversary show, Altoona, Pennsylvania. Yours truly will be a part of it. Um, I can't wait. I can't believe it's been a year of the Comedy Farm, man. Wow. Back to Ridge Hirschberger. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and how
We have an
many
action
amazing
packed.
comics have we
Yeah.
seen at Comedy Farm in Arts Altoona? Yep.
I mean, I can't count it on two hands. Um, then April 26th, though, right here in
Wait,
Johnstown,
hold
baby.
on. Hold on. I this isn't a big event, but I just had to give out a shout out to Easter, which happens to fall on 4/20 this year. My
Easter.
two big
Shout out
shocker.
Jesus.
Shout out Jesus, but also chocolate and weed at the same time.
Mmm.
Yeah,
I love Easter candy. I want a basket. I'm getting myself a basket with a toothbrush in it because I need a new toothbrush too.
you do. Need a new
And it's going to be filled with jelly beans in the grass and little chocolate eggs and robin eggs. Easter might have the. So here's the thing. Oh, yes, it is. I'm getting it.
Okay.
Um, Easter, I would argue, is the best candy holiday, even above trick or treat.
I agree.
It has the
First of all,
best
the
themed
church
candies.
candy.
Yeah, you can get
Church.
candy at Easter that you can't get any other time.
Yeah, agree.
There's nothing on Halloween that you can't get the rest of the year.
Agree. Now, my two favorite or Easter treats are ones that are on everybody's hate list. So my two favorite Easter candies are marshmallow peeps
I
and
like them.
Cadbury cream eggs.
I like them.
And
I
everybody
mean,
hates those.
here's my question: is how do they hate them when literally they're like $1 billion industry just between the two of them? Somebody's buying them.
You've never seen the peeps memes? The only way to eat a
No, I
peep?
see people say that, but I think it's just I don't believe it. It's one of those like it's like a Mandela effect almost. It's a myth that many people hate them.
Um, oh yeah, so go ahead. So 426.
Oh yeah, 426, Johnstown, Masonic Temple, me, Frankie Z Cheeks, or whatever he goes by. It's going to be a great show. Masonic Temple is to raise charity, suicide awareness, um, Travis Neal Foundation. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Uh, I
Tickets are
absolutely cannot wait.
available.
Yeah, they
Tickets are
got way better
available at
comics than
Ohio
me and
Street.
Frankie too. Like way better. We're not the meat and potatoes of this. We're the parsley on the side. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of great comics on this show. The I'm excited for the green room. The green room's going to be fantastic here.
mm, Green Room.
The after party is going to be amazeballs. I don't know who's throwing that,
All
but
you
it's
have
going to
to,
be
I
amaze.
mean, how could it not be with Frank? I mean, come on.
No,
It's
it's
going to
going
be
to be
lit.
fun.
It's going
Yeah.
to be lit. That's the only way to say it. It's going to be lit.
So then we've got May 11th through 13th. This is my favorite thing on the venue. We are going to be in Nashville house hunting, but ever the businesswoman, Scott's going to be doing some open
Yeah, I'll be
mics.
doing Mike's down
So
there. I'll be
if
doing
any
Mike's.
of our listeners are in Nashville, 11th through the 13th, look for my post on TikTok. Hit me up. Maybe you can
You'll
meet
know
us
where
for
I'm
a
going.
show.
When I'm not
Yeah,
doing comedy, you'll find me at Joyland eating chicken sandwiches all damn day.
I'll be eating smash burgers.
I'm going to eat one
And
of them
then
too.
finally, the big event, the big event, the
May
one that,
23rd,
oh, yes.
Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, Triggers Tap Room. We and Sasquatch Outdoors present an evening with Scott Reed and friends. And it's going to be, oh my buddy, if you have not come out to a comedy show ever before, make this your first one because it is going to rip from start to finish like you've never even seen because it's just going to be so good. We've so many people lined up. We got Blake Stallnecker coming out. We got Rich Hirschberger, Scott Kelly, uh Lennon Free, and then our headliner, Mr. Trevor Alston. It is just going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun. That whole weekend's going to be a lot of fun. The next night, we have a little secret show that we're going to be doing. Keep an eye out for that. We're not going to mention too many details about that, but if you're South Mountain Hotel, watch out because it's going to be a blast. And then Sunday, we will talk about this one in more detail. Triggers Tap Room again. We're doing an open mic event. We're going to have a little show to kick the show off just to get things flowing. But then we're going to go into an open mic. It's going to be great. We're going to be pulling names out of buckets like on Kill Tony. We're going to be, talking to people. It's going to be a lot of fun. We want to hear what you got. Think you're funny. Come on out. It doesn't even matter. It's just going to be a blast. One hell of a time. It's going to be fun. Um, I just can't say
Yeah,
it enough.
so that is Memorial Day weekend starting May 23rd. So, May 23rd, 24th, and 25th, we are bringing comedy to Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. We've got comics coming. Like Scott said, we've got the Friday show is going to
Yeah,
absolutely murder.
yeah,
Saturday show, we got a couple good comics that we're bringing to this little pop up, super secret pop up event.
yeah. Super
And then
secret event. Stay
Sunday,
tuned, listeners, because this one's for you. You're gonna. There'll be secret things to go with this show. So
right. And who knows, maybe you can even catch us eating lunch somewhere. You might want to talk to some of the comics that we have hanging out with us. But Sunday
Boogers,
on
beef bologna for everyone.
Booker's Beef Bologna. I'm super excited about Sunday because they've already got at least 20 people interested in doing the bucket pool, which for an area like Waynesboro that doesn't have a lot of comedy outlets right now, I think that's amazing.
They're up to
And
20 now.
yeah, 20 for the
Oh
bucket
my
pool. And who
God.
knows? Atlanta B might do a little set. You never know.
We're gonna have to put a cutoff.
No, I know. I
Holy
know. It's
cow,
going
I
to be
need to talk
amazing.
to him about that.
Yeah.
We might be
I mean,
maxed out.
he's got 20 people that said they want to do it, but at the night of the show,
Right.
you
Who
know how that
shows up,
goes.
we'll find out that night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
So,
great though. If it's going to be that, well, shit.
yeah, it's worth coming out just to see. Maybe come out and watch your friends try their hand. Maybe you'll
I'm
discover the next
interested to
new
see
comic.
because, yeah, he's brought up a lot of people that have maybe not necessarily done it, but they think that they can and they want to. And let's see it, man. Let's see what you got. You don't know who's out there waiting. The next Shane Gillis is somewhere out there, hasn't even tried comedy yet. You know what I mean? That's
Agreed.
how I look at it. So maybe he shows up to that open mic. Not Shane Gillis, the next one, though.
Yep. So that's about it. I mean, we've got a lot of shit coming up. We've got a lot of things that we're going to be going down rabbit holes for you guys. We've got a lot of shows coming up. You can message us or hit me up at Atlanta@gildedtrash.com.
I have so many shows coming up. I think I need to make one of those posters that shows me like in some weird pose and then it has my dates next to it. I think I need
I
one of
think
them.
you
I
do.
think I
You
have that many
do.
shows coming up. I can do that.
I think you're allowed now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on it. I want to know. It's got to be goofy. It's got to be me. And if it's me, it's goofy.
Oh, that's the other thing that I wanted to shout out real fast. If you're watching us on YouTube, go over and check out the parody video we did of old Honey and Mustard. That was really, really fun. That was our
Honey and
first
mustard.
ever. That was our first ever skit that we produced all in one day. I'm gonna say the audio quality on it was pretty shitty in some points. Neither of us were really singing that well, but it was so fun to do. I can't wait to do more skits. I am excited.
The outfits alone for me were that much fun.
Yeah.
Howdy, man. Evening.
All right. If nobody's told you motherfuckers today, stay trashy.
Stay
We
trashy,
are out.
Illuminati.
Peace.